Hello, everyone. It's Graydon here with Forever Booked, and today I got the pleasure of speaking with Kevin and Fides. They are the owners of Silk Aesthetic Clinic in Markham, just outside of Toronto. Could you maybe just give me, guys, just maybe give me like a quick background? Because I know you have another clinic in the Philippines, so maybe you can give me a quick background on that clinic and like your story for coming and opening up a clinic in Toronto.
Okay, so the primary reason actually is that I got stuck here in Canada. I didn't plan on
Okay.
like staying here for good, but then because of COVID, I've been running the business in the Philippines remotely, and I thought like I want to start doing it here. It's been a long-term plan to start up something here in Canada, but it didn't. I didn't think of it like too soon, like this soon.
Okay.
It just happened like pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
within the last, I mean, moved
Yeah,
back 8 months ago
yeah, eight
or
months ago.
10
Yeah.
months ago. And within like 8 months of 7, 8 months of that, just
Mhm.
came all of a sudden.
Because I don't think I'll be going like back soon in the Philippines. So I just thought like might as well open here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you took what was given to you, and you seem to be making a pretty good situation out of it so far. So
Mhm.
that's great. Why don't you talk a bit about where you guys were at right before, uh, like finding out about Forever Booked, and right before we started working together?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we've been here, and like she said, it's been a plan to just open up, but
Yeah.
she's really been focusing all of her efforts on, kind of managing the clinic in the Philippines from afar. But
Yeah.
with closures here, closures there, the time
Mm,
difference, you know, um, it things were just not really. It was not the optimal, situation. Especially the clinic over there has been open for a while now, and it already got to a point where it was kind of steady. And all of a sudden, everything happened. So we were here, and honestly, we didn't have anything. We're new to the area, with the exception of like, one family, here. And then once we got here, everything was closed. So it's not like we can really go out, socialize, market, and all that. So we literally were starting from zero, prior to Forever Book. Like, we're opening the doors, and we're like, okay, how are we going to get clients in? And we had like
Few
three,
friends.
yeah, three friends
nice.
come over, and
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. Who are familiar with the clinic in the Philippines and actually been there when they came to visit. But that's pretty much all we had to go on. But otherwise, new city, new territory, don't have a business, haven't seen physical people in like 6 months.
Yeah, I think that goes for a lot of us too. It's so weird seeing people, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you had. Did you have any like doubts signing up, being like, this is new, it may not work at all? Like when you first started running those campaigns, like what were the doubts since you were just starting?
I don't have a lot of background with how marketing works, but
Hmm.
it's kind of like a risk, but I don't really. I feel like I see it like positive. You get a vibe and
Yeah.
you just do it.
Yeah, and I think going in, it's like, well, we have zero,
Yeah.
right? So what's the worst?
Yeah,
What's the worst that can
yeah.
happen? What do we have to lose? Like, if this
Yeah.
doesn't work out, we'll just really be in the exact same place we are. But if we take the leap and try, and where could we be? And it's worked out great for
And
us.
considering even if you don't have a lot of like money to put out, like it is something, right? But I've done a lot of Facebook marketing, like boosting in the Philippines and Instagram on my own with no leads, just like really doing whatever they provide. Nothing, no background in marketing, no database or anything like that. I feel like the amount of money that you're spending, or that we gave you initially, is kind of worth it because based on like how much I've spent in the Philippines to get clients with no background, just like on my own. So I feel like it's not. It is risky, but it's something that you have to do.
Yeah. And I think it was a big thing too, because the way this all started was, we have a call, you sit and you kind of laid it out like, we have a plan, we have a program, so we're like, okay, let's see what they have to say. And in talking to you, you're really confident. It wasn't like, hey, we're gonna try this out and you know kind of see what sticks. You really had a plan.
Mhm.
You've had people who've had results, so it was kind of like, you do you want to try what has been working for a lot of people already? And that, I think that that conversation with you, the confidence that instills, made a big difference in us making the decision to say, okay, you know what, this is the one that's going to be worth giving a try if we're going to take our shot, you know?
And it's easy. It's not like it's not complicated. It's not something that you really have to like study and to really like, think about too much. It's pretty easy, straightforward. And
Mm.
the only thing that we have to like, not only thing, but like something that we have to really follow through based on what you have given us. It should be something like, it's something that we also know of already. So getting that help to just get in clients, which is hard if you don't have that big database or if you don't have that leads here in Toronto, um, then it's really something that's worth like the risk.
Yeah, so totally. And yeah, that's why I like just working with med spas is because we can really niche down and focus and figure out what works and then just like deploy what we already know or else you're kind of just like it's kind of a crapshoot just like trying a bunch of different things. So why don't you give like how what are the maybe give me some numbers like I think you guys have closed. It's been in like a bit of over a month so far, and you've closed what like over. I think you closed over 30, close to 35K now in packages from that campaign.
Yeah, just about. I think we're just short of 36, like right under that,
Nice.
from like the last week of June until now. Again, starting from zero. So I mean, for us, that was phenomenal, really.
Yeah, it's kind of satisfying, right? It's like a scoreboard. Like whenever you put a new sale on, it's kind of cool to see the numbers go up there.
Mhm. Yeah, and it was actually surprising because the number was actually higher than it felt like initially because we got a lot of volume initially, which we weren't expecting. We thought it was going to kind of be a ramp up, but all of a sudden, we're getting calls, we're getting leads that were actually coming in. So
Yeah.
even like that slow and steady, like one client here, one service here, one promotional price here, but right away, it
It
added up pretty
converted.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're
Awesome.
surprised to get results that quick, and I think it helped too because you kind of managed our expectations because you said a lot of your clients usually have already been in business in their area,
Mm.
and they have something to start with, and that's what helps boost it. But with us, we're kind of starting from zero, so you kind of framed it for us that it'll be a little bit slower, but we have a strategy for you, and it picked up like way sooner than we thought it would.
Yep. And the reason why is because like it's honestly it all comes down to the offer. Like I say this like 5 times a day to my clients. Like the most important thing is the offer. So the fact that you guys are able, like willing to cooperate with me and create that offer, like that's what drives everything, right? It's like can you create something that's unique? And it's great that you guys have to
Yeah,
the
man.
treatments available to make that offer.
And with the offer too, we actually kind of had kind of a discussion because, like she said,
Yeah.
she's been doing the marketing all on her own in the Philippines for her clinic, and it's been really successful. So the way she's been doing it works. But you came to us and said, "Well, this is kind of our strategy," and we're kind of going back and forth with, "Well, is the offer and the way that we're doing the deal is different than how we had done it." But you explained to us kind of how it works, and we said, "Okay, well, again, this is they've you've told us that it has worked this way and this has been your experience, right? Well, if we're going to do it, let's give it a try, do it the way that they've recommended us based on their experience, and if it doesn't work, then we can say we tried it at least, then we'll change back to our own ways." But what you gave us, it after like a week, we're like, what, this is really working really well.
Sweet. Yeah, so that's I know you so it's is this something that you would like to continue like the whole format of like the 3 tier? Is that something you guys could see yourself continuing to do in the future, like the way you offer packages?
The packages.
Just yeah.
Yeah, the 3 tier
Um,
packages.
it has helped. Like initially, I was not comfortable doing it
Yeah.
because like it wouldn't really put a lot of thought in like how we honestly like with the packages that I suggested, and then so I didn't really put much thought about it because I was also busy doing another job. So but then I just thought like, okay, let me just stick to this for now and like really do it. So I sometimes I tweak it a bit,
Yeah.
I try to. Um, and then based on like what the needs of the patient, and that also works, I feel like, because
Yeah.
I like, you still have to like get on like the needs of the patients, of the
Yeah.
clients. So I think that also works, like at least getting that baseline of like how you would go after doing giving them the initial offer is good. But it also helped me like really do it like specific to their needs, cater to like what their skin needs, and I think that worked as well.
Yeah, but what has helped is the tier like kind of approach. It helps us have a baseline already, so that you're not starting from zero for every client, and I have to decide for this person like from scratch, like how to structure their
Yeah.
package and what they need. It gives us a baseline, and then based on that, they say, okay, well, they tell us my budget falls into this tier, and this is what I'm looking for. And if we have to make minor tweaks to that, that's really easy to do versus again starting from zero for
Nothing,
every
yeah.
single person.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hybrid, right? You have a baseline to make it like easier to do long term, and then you can also customize it as needed. This
Yeah,
question is going to be a bit controversial, but
yeah. And that really helped us again
oh
starting,
yeah, continue.
starting from scratch. Like we didn't have
Yeah,
we haven't done packages before that were not customized, so it really gave us a really good place to start.
awesome. Yeah, this question, it's going to be a bit controversial, but honestly, like we could take the same campaign, the same offer, in the same marketplace, run it in Markham, and send it to another clinic. And based on a number of factors that is with that clinic, depending on how good they listen to instructions, how good they are at sales, how ambitious they are, like that clinic could either come to us and be like, "Hey, these leads suck, like this isn't working," or they could be like you guys and be like, "This is working," and close sales with depending on the exact like with the exact same appointments, exact same leads. So, what do you feel you guys are doing that is making you successful?
Personally, I think, well, you have to have a really right, like, machine, and right, and really doing knowing what you do,
Yeah,
and really have an effective treatment. Because um, even if you're marketing, like, people come in, of course it's cheap, but if you don't get to explain the treatment and like how it will work for them, and they don't see results, then I don't think it's also easier for someone to, oh, sign in a package that's over 1,000, or even
yeah,
less than 1,000, a little, you know, um, less than 1,000. It's not something that someone will just sign up for, if you're not like, if you don't see results. So that's one thing. I think it's also like a lot of explaining to them, not a lot, but like, giving them the basic, and giving them the um, being confident about like the treatment. So I think that's really one thing.
And I think that goes in with something that was kind of part of how you had set us up to do the calls and to do the offer. It was knowing what it is, being confident about it, being passionate about it, because that comes out as you talk to
But
somebody.
yeah, believing your treatment, believing that it works.
Yeah,
Because if you know it works, you don't
yeah.
really have to do a lot of convincing.
yeah. And so to be at that point for yourself, for your clinic, for your services, that yeah, everything that we do here, we stand by, we believe in. Then once they're through the door, it's really just you know transferring that over to them, saying, well, whatever your needs are, we're confident that we can service them, you know, to what your expectations are.
I'm so glad you guys mentioned that because conviction is, in my opinion, the most powerful sales tool available. It's more important than being a super skilled salesperson because if you're super skilled and you don't believe in your services, unless you're like some sort of uh like uh unless you're like a clinical liar or something and you can just like fake that conviction, it's really hard,
Yeah,
right? So I totally agree. It's like when you have conviction, when you believe in your services, you truly feel like if someone has issues with their skin and they don't buy a package, it's like it like hurts because you know that they're not going to get what they need to get. So I totally agree with that. When you have conviction, and I think that comes back to having good machines, right? You invested in great machines. You probably tried them out on yourself. You know it works. You've experienced results from your clinic in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So I totally agree with that one.
There was something too in regards
Yeah.
to how the process of them coming in and doing the initial promo treatment, and then coming back for the follow up was really counterintuitive to what we wanted to do, because they're
Yeah.
in the door, and we kind of wanted to give them as much as we can right there because we
Yeah.
have them in front of us. But what was recommended to us was for them to do the promo, don't do anything, come back for the consultation afterwards, and they can see results. They're now, they've gotten something, they're more warm to us. And again, that took a little bit of like force, like to break out of what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But we're like, let's try it. And it really helped, because then people were coming back, they were seeing results, and really was that much easier to close them on, well, since you've seen results, do you want to do more? And like most people have said, yeah, absolutely. Or they came in already asking, like, all right, I need to keep doing this, what do we do?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there, yeah. So knowing like the kind of clients like that would come in, if they know already about the they know of the treatment, and they ask for like, okay, so I know this is 97. This is not $97. It's not worth this much. So, and then if they ask for like the packages right away, then we give them. But then even like having them to commit, I kind of like hold it off. Tell them like, you know what, look for like see first the results. If you see results, then you come back, because we're just here anyway. But if they're like already pushing for the packages, then that's fine. But for some, like, just wanted to know the price, then we just tell them like, you come back, and then if you see results, then you commit. If not, then
Yeah. And
it's up to you.
and now we have the confidence to do that because we know they come back. But initially it was like, oh, do you want to let
It's
them
like,
out
are
the
they going to
door
come back?
without like,
Yeah.
might as well, yeah, right?
No, that's cool, because that's like totally, you're reversing the roles there, because people are so used to like getting sold and like people pushing things on them. Like you're almost playing hard to get, right? It's like, oh, not so fast. It's like you're coming back, and then I feel like people really respect that when you're not pushing it on them, and then they trust you even more to do that. And that's the whole idea of this, right? Is to make it more natural. It's just like I always compare sales as like dating, right? It's like usually if you wait longer and take things slow, it's better in the long term. It's like it's good to be patient and kind of like lengthen things out a bit, because you have some more time and it's just a bit more natural, like not so high pressure. So I'm super glad you guys are having good results with that, because that's something that a lot of people are a bit like they haven't done that way before, so they're usually a bit skeptical at first about that approach. So there's a lot of clinics out there who I think could benefit from this quite a bit. But like as expected, like people are really skeptical of marketing agencies, right? There's a lot of marketing agencies out there that don't deliver. So what would you guys say to, like, if someone clinic was on the fence about this, not really sure if they should sign up or not, what would you say to them if they were like considering working with us?
They should sign up.
I think if you've tried something already and it's been working for you, then you wouldn't really be looking anywhere else at the moment. So you're looking for more, obviously, if you're coming across this group. So, it's kind of one of those, you're looking, you've seen people here that have results. So, might as well give it a try. Um, and I think a lot of that will come from the conversation that you have with them. Because if you did something else and it wasn't working, based on the conversation with you guys, which was really hands-on, really direct, like this is the way we work, you can kind of see, is this going to be a good fit? Is this just the same thing as what I was doing with the other company? And if it's different, then, why would you not want to try? Because you are looking for something different, right?
And if you have like no leads at all or nothing, you start from like scratch, like us, then the more that you should do it.
Yeah, the more you need to pay attention to the marketing and get aggressive about marketing. I think I'm out of questions, guys. Thank you so much for getting on this call. Keep crushing it. You're one of our best clients, and I'm super excited for what the future holds for Silk Aesthetic, because I think you guys are going to become an incredible clinic in Toronto. So thanks so much for being a great client, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.